You're watching 8 News. News where you live.
Good morning, Richmond. Thanks for joining us for another half hour of 8 News at 9. I'm John Rogers. We have a lot of news to get to, but first let's check in quickly with Michelle Morgan and Travis Michaels. Delaney, thank you very much. In the meantime, let's circle back to Autumn Childress, who's live this morning in Hopewell. She's actually been traveling all over RVA, but right now you're in Hopewell, Autumn, where we're seeing some really bad flooding issues over there. What do people need to know? These videos clearly show people desperately want life to return to normal. So, Doctor, lay it out for us. What would it take for life to return to pre-pandemic conditions? Did your upbringing help prepare you for the job you have today? People don't know this park. There's a little small roundabout surrounding that statue. It's a very compact space. So how are they maneuvering that to get that to that flatbed? It's going to be kind of difficult, it seems, to get that out of there. We have the latest this morning on the protests across the nation. George Floyd's death sparked this recent outrage after video captured a Minneapolis police officer putting his knee on Floyd's neck for 9 whole minutes. We will have more on local protests in just a minute, but first we want to start things off actually with 8 News reporter Delaney Hall, who's live in Richmond's South Side with breaking news on those 2 police officers hurt in a shootout early this morning. Delaney, what can you tell us? We begin with breaking news this afternoon. A fire broke out at the Life Sciences building on VCU's Monroe Park campus. It forced nearby buildings to evacuate. Michelle, thank you. Confederate statues in Richmond are coming down in a sudden move by the mayor. The Stonewall Jackson Monument is just the first of many that are being removed from the city of Richmond. 8 News reporter Autumn Childress joins us now live from Monument Avenue, where it looks like another statue is about to be taken down. Right, Autumn? Our 8 News team has been tracking Isaias's path all morning long as it powered through the Commonwealth. We have reporters standing by in the field. They braved the wind and the rains to bring us coverage all morning long. They're standing by now. Of course, though, we want to start with Storm Tracker 8 meteorologist Matt DiNardo with the latest conditions this morning. Thank you very much. Now, you just heard from Matt and Michelle. I mean, this rain's going to be around for another few hours, so you have to be careful as you're going out on the roads, as it could mean some really bad road conditions out there. And we're going to be covering this. Crews are still out there. I mean, you can see the straps they put in there. You heard from Delaney earlier. That thing's over 7,000 pounds, and it's pretty high up there, too. As you can see, they're hoisted. So it's going to take some time to remove that. You, along with many here, have grown up in RVA. Compare the Richmond that you remember from your youth to the Richmond of today. What kind of progress have we seen? Are you happy? Are you dissatisfied? How do you feel comparing the Richmond of yesterday to today? The guide is available online, and you'll find nature, sports, and history programs for all ages. If you plan on signing up, applications open on January 4th. In the meantime, as Confederate monuments come down in Richmond, an anonymous person wants to block the mayor from continuing this. And a report from the CDC says the Farmville ICE Detention Center needs to give detainees more space to reduce the risk of COVID-19. We have team coverage this morning with 8 News reporter Basil John looking at security and Michelle tracking road closures. But first, let's start with 8 News reporter Delaney Hall. Delaney? Hey everyone, let's be honest. This is an inconvenience, but it's temporary and the payoff is huge. Not only for your TV coverage, but for your cell phone service as well. We're joined now by Marshall Vogt from the Virginia Department of Health. Marshall, thank you so much for being here. So the first question, kind of a loaded one. Which vaccine does Virginia have, and how much has the state gotten so far, and how much do we expect to get? And this is the big question many are wondering. When do you anticipate that all Virginians will have access to a vaccine? Guys, I want to show you this. Have you seen this? This is a strange video going around social media. Oh, that teen driver should not be behind the wheel. So that's great advice. And there's something you just touched on there about masks, because we've seen reports of masks for babies and young kids being sold in stores. And a lot of doctors say it's dangerous for babies to have masks. So why is this? Breaking news, a violent night in Richmond. 2 Richmond police officers hurt in a shootout early this morning. 8 News reporter Delaney Hall is live in the city's South Side with what happened. Delaney? School will be closed next Monday. RPS says a third of its teachers are planning to go to the Capitol for the Virginia Educators Association rally. The school system wouldn't have been able to get enough subs to fill all those spots, so RPS will give out to-go food bags to any families who rely on school lunches for meals. I live for this stuff. Okay, here's a couple more. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. Here's another one. Why did the invisible man turn down the job offer? He couldn't see himself doing it.
Oh, stop.
And last one, want to hear a joke about a piece of paper? Never mind. It's terrible. I'll be here all week. You can meet your favorite stars, like a savior of the universe who could save every one of us, or do a time warp again and feel like a kid once more.
That's
I
right.
have the great honor of welcoming Barry Bostwick from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Thank you.
And Sam Jones, otherwise known as Flash Gordon. Guys, I am honored to be with you here.
Tell us what happened this week with the help of Pharrell.
Yeah, huge deal. I mean, if you'd imagined this a week ago, no one could have predicted it. So Pharrell gave a sort of surprise news conference with the governor as he announced that he wants to propose to make Juneteenth a paid state holiday. Pharrell, he's really invested in Virginia, grew up over in Virginia Beach. He's not a fly-by-night celebrity, very in close touch with Governor Northam and very beloved in this state. And so with this, the governor is pushing this. It's not official yet. We still have to wait for our local legislative body, the General Assembly, to pass it into law.
Michelle, that weather has remained unchanged for about the past 7 hours. I can't believe it still hasn't cracked 30. Now to a story that has a lot of people talking and laughing. Some second graders in Memphis were on a Zoom meeting when suddenly their teachers vanished. Oh wow, this is a scary sight, huh? In snowy Wisconsin, a father and son are able to save a driver from this sinking car. I'm actually a huge nerd, Katie, so I got a kick out of that. In fact, I brought it here. I have a little bobblehead of me in a Starfleet uniform. This is Captain Rogers.
Where did you
right
pull
there.
that out from? Did you run to your desk in the
I
commercial
keep
break
it with
and
me
get
all
it?
the time. You just never see it. There are those fans out there who say, I watch sports for a respite from the harsh realities of the real world. I don't want politics. I just want to watch a game. What do you say to those fans that aren't really big fans of seeing athletes make stands like this?
Well, the reality is this: we're not a commodity.
Those are good. And Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger is my absolute favorite. Yeah. Put the cookie down now. Matt, thank you. We're continuing our team coverage of tracking ESIS with reporter Autumn Childress, who's joining us from Hopewell. Autumn, all morning long, you've been wandering all over RVA, seeing some incredible rain and winds. I see behind you, you've got some flooding. What's going on over there? Dr. Gonzalo Behrman, thank you so much for joining us. So the big story over the past couple weeks, all these protests all over RVA and all over the country. Are you worried about a possible spike in a few weeks? Let's talk to our friend Storm Tracker 8 meteorologist Michelle Morgan. And Michelle, I'm thinking it's going to be a warm day today.
You know what? You can have my job because you are 100% correct.
So Katie, I did some homework, my journalistic duty.
Oh, wow.
I actually looked up some songs that are 170 beats per minute.
Okay.
Take on Me by Aha, Free Fallin' by Tom Petty, and Living on the Edge by Aerosmith. So that's an idea of the kind of speed they're talking about there.
Okay, Living on Free Fallin' by Tom Petty.
I was thinking that too.
That seems slow,
it does seem like a slow song. Yeah. What do you listen to when you go to the gym? There's a thing that Mr. Jones touched on that I think would be an interesting point to wrap up on. This point of black excellence. I attended Florida State, but I took classes at FAMU, a HBCU, and that very much is a very big mindset in HBCUs. You have to be better than the person next to you. Clearly some of that is founded. I mean, with a lot of the history of racism and white supremacy, but how do you feel, do minority communities also play an equal role in building each other up? Instead of feeling like the victim, isn't there more the minority community can do to lift everyone up?
That's a very interesting, loaded question that I really don't want you to get in trouble trying to ask.
Let's get back to John now for more news.
As Milli Vanilli would say, blame it on the rain. Because it seems day after day, raindrops keep falling on my head.
Yeah.
Matt, when I'm at home
Yeah.
against my window, I can't stand the rain. Matt, looks like a hard rains are going to fall.
Yeah, exactly right. He keeps going for it, folks. He's now up to four different
Bro,
lyrics.
you almost didn't catch that.
No, I got it. I got it.
Travis, we appreciate it. Thank you. Breaking news, crews are at the Matthew Fontaine Maury statue on Monument Avenue after a portion of it was taken down last week. 8 News reporter Delaney Hall is live in Richmond with the very latest. Delaney, are they making a lot of progress there? A downtown Richmond ABC store has shut down. And actually, we were just learning that the governor is now taking to the podium. Let's go toss it over to him. You were just listening to Governor Ralph Northam and other officials bring us an update on the coronavirus. At this time here in Virginia, there are 114 cases. They encompass all regions of Virginia, including Southwest Virginia. One bit of good news, they never reported any fatalities. That's certainly great news to hear, but in any case, they are seeing the number of cases go up, and they do expect those numbers to continue to rise.
Our Storm Tracker 8 team coverage continues in the Tri-Cities.
Schools are closed there due to the conditions this morning, and VSU is on a delay. So let's send it over to Storm Tracker 8 reporter Delaney Hall with a closer look. And Delaney, we saw earlier, I don't know if you have a future as a baseball player, but you're doing a great job as a reporter. folks. This country is angry and divided. And so we need to remember to reach out and show compassion and kindness to one another. We all should live by that mantra to be the change that you want to see in the world. We're going to be covering this protest all day on air and online. We'll see you guys soon at 9. Have a great day.
You're watching 8 News. News where you live.
Good morning, Richmond. Thanks for joining us for 8 News at 9. I'm John Rogers. I'm here in the studio with my friend Storm Tracker meteorologist Michelle Morgan, pulling double duty on this Wednesday. How's it going, Michelle? Michelle, thank you. Breaking news, another Confederate monument is coming down right now in Richmond. 8 News reporter Autumn Childress joins us now live from the Confederate Soldiers and Sailors statue in Libby Hill. And Autumn, this is a really tall statue. How are they going to get this down? Autumn, thank you for that live report now. Unlike other Confederate monument removals, many people witnessing the Jeb Stuart statue removal were watchful onlookers taking in the moment. The Virginia Department of Education has released new guidelines for schools as they make reopening plans for the fall. 8 News reporter Delaney Hall is live in Richmond with a closer look at what they're recommending. Delaney. Thank you very much. This morning, the FDA has released a new warning about toxic hand sanitizers. It's added 5 additional products to the list of sanitizers that tested positive for methanol, which can be life-threatening if it's ingested. Significant exposure to methanol can also cause vomiting, seizures, and a coma. The new products on the list can be found on our website, WRIC.com. And a grad student thinks he may be the first person to be successfully immunized against COVID-19. Thank you very much, Michelle. Despite a new single-day high in new COVID-19 cases, President Donald Trump is demanding U.S. schools reopen in the coming fall. This morning, new coronavirus models point to a rising death toll in America, and a number of states are reconsidering or rolling back reopening. On the political front, the president says he will pressure states into allowing schools to return in the fall. All the while, scientists say there is emerging new evidence in how this disease spreads. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest from Washington. All right, 9:21 on the dot. Let's talk to Storm Track Rate meteorologist Michelle Morgan to find out how high those soaring temps will get. Michelle, thank you. Taking one more look at the statue over at Libby Hill Park, already putting ropes around it. It's going to be a very interesting process. We'll be covering this online. In the meantime, thanks for spending your morning with us. Have a great day.